What an absolute useless bunch of tits Manchester United are right now. We've just drawn 1-1 with Huddersfield away in the Premier League. Top four gone, totally gone now. All the other teams vying for those places. Nobody could really get over the line. They're all stumbling over the line. But what do United do? We faceplant. We stop ourselves from even having a chance of getting in top four. Away at Huddersfield, a team that are one of the shittest in the history of the Premier League. All credit to Huddersfield today. They deserve to win today. Fair play to Huddersfield. They've got nothing to play for other than pride, really. You know, they're already down. They're already out. Last home game for them. Send off, pride. They're playing for pride. They're the shittest team in the league. They're playing for pride. They've got the shittest team. Yet they cannot beat, or yet Manchester United cannot beat a team assembled like, you know, a championship side, effectively, that is going back down into the championship. And Manchester United has got Paul Pogba in it. We've got Mata in it. We've got Sanchez in it. We've got Shaw in it. We've got De Gea in it. We've got all these top quality players. Well, let's be honest now, shit, but there's a few top quality players in there. What I'm saying is, man for man, we should be battering Huddersfield Town. Yet this Manchester United side lacks the bottle, lacks the cojones, lacks the desire, lacks the motivation, lacks the bollocks to be a Manchester United player. You know, there's a few of them. Don't get me wrong. There's a few players that are decent. There's a few players that are good and that do deserve to stay at Manchester United, but they are few and far between. Most of them definitely don't deserve to be representing Manchester United wearing that red shirt, fighting away from home at Huddersfield Town to maybe just have a chance of getting top four in Champions League football for next season. Well, half of these players I hope will not be here next season. I hope that they move on. I hope that we do have a big change in the transfer window. We bring a lot of players in, because these guys are just complete freaking cash-tastic melters. They cannot live up to it. This is a fine example. Task, lads. Here's your mission. Mission for the week. Mission objective. Go to Huddersfield Town. Beat the shittest team in the league. Have a chance of getting in the top four. But no, they can't even do that, you know. The players we've got in there, half of them are just not up to the standard. Half of them are maybe over the hill. Half of them are just have too big of inflated egos to even really, truly be 100% motivated and fight for United. Let me talk about some of the individuals in the team today that were absolutely gastastic. I mean, the back line defensively, we're just not at the races. We've known this since the Fergie days. We needed to replace some really top quality players. We have never done that. We were relying on the likes of Jones and Smalling, and they're just shit, aren't they? You know, Lindelof, Jones today. It's just poor. The performances from the back line were not good to allow that goal to happen. You know, we just caught sleeping for that equalising goal. The fact is, we should be 2 or 3-0 up at that stage anyway. The attacking talents we got in our side, creatively, we're not at the races. What we're talking about, Paul Pogba, supposed to be one of the best players in the world. Haven't seen it for a long time. The guy was absolutely horse-turd today. He really was out there stinking it up like a big log in the centre of the park. Like I say, just not static, not trying. We've got Static, Matic, Pogba. Where's the mobility in the centre of the park there? You know, the best player by a mile was McTominay, the young lad trying to prove himself, shown some good form recently, doing the business, got his name on the score sheet today. Fair play to that man. Most of the other ones, you know, Sanchez, he worked hard, he tried, he did, he harried and tried and worked and ran. But at the end of the day, man, something is gone in that Bruno Mars head of his. He just cannot understand what it is to be a Manchester United player. I don't know, he just cannot come together. Once he went off, Chong's come on, it looked more, there was more creativity happening there. But, I mean, that second half performance, yet again, it was absolutely dire from Manchester United. The lack of intent, really, the lack of desire to get back into it. 8 minutes had a time, stoppage time. Where's the United Fergie time flurry? Where is the action? Where's the real fight and the bombardment of them? It just didn't freaking happen, man. It's so frustrating at the moment. This United side just don't deserve to be playing for Manchester United, most of them. Let's be honest now. I mean, I would be happy if they just got rid of half these players in the summer. I know I keep going on about it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said recently there won't be big movements in the transfer window. Maybe a few players go, maybe a few players stay. I hope that's bollocks, I really do. Mr. Potato Head upstairs, sort your act out. Let's get some players in. Let's move some on. We've had players like Smalling and Jones at the club for like 8 years. We've not had a top quality player in that position, a real world-class talent for a long time. Why not? Let's address that issue. We've seen other teams, Liverpool, addressing those sorts of issues, defensive frailties that they've had. And you can see what an impact it's had. United, we need to sign some serious players, we do, but also some, more importantly than that, some United-style players, some players with heart and passion and desire and the want to play for United, the fight to put on that red shirt and fight your heart out with 100% desire every time you go on that pitch. That's the biggest thing that's lacking from United at the moment. We might have great players, great technical players. We've got little Juan Mata, he's an absolute magician when he wants to be. We've got Paul Pogba, one of the world's best players when he wants to be. We've got Anthony Martial, Thierry Henry when he wants to be. When he doesn't want to be, he's just freaking Anthony Farcical. There's people throughout the squad like that who are way too inconsistent, who don't deserve to be paid the amount of money that they are. It's a fucking disgrace. It really is what has happened at Manchester United over these last few years. The lack of real key signings, of quality signings from the board, the owners obviously sucking money out the club, if you like. When we might be commercially successful, but we're nowhere near as successful as we were on the pitch, and that's really where it matters, especially for the fans. The fans are obviously what drive this club. We're the ones watching this absolute pile of turd out there on the pitch every single week. It's been too long now. Wally Gunnar Solskjaer, he keeps picking these people, the Scandinavian freaking golem, keeps selecting the likes of Jones, the likes of Young, these types of guys. I do want... Obviously, I'm just saying that in a bit in jest because I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and I do believe that he could be the right man for Manchester United. It's hard to say with this band of absolute bottle jobs at the club. These players are just not the type of players that we need to have. He's trying to drill something into them. He's trying to squeeze something out of them. He's trying to motivate them by saying, look, this is United. You have to fight 100% for every single ball. I'm looking at Paul Pogba out there today, first half, man. Big player for us, important player for us in a drive to get top four against Huddersfield, a really bad team, let's be honest now. Fair play, the better team today, but bad team over the course of the season. And he can't do anything. He's not really truly trying. It doesn't look like he's truly trying. This is a big game, man. What more motivation do we need? So that's what I mean. Ole Gunnar can only do so much with certain players if they can't get out there on the pitch and perform and motivate themselves and be consistent for United and really fight for every single ball, then, move them on. That's all I can say. It's not really Ole Gunnar's fault. This team isn't assembled by him. It's assembled by other people, a few different other people. Potato Head upstairs, Louis van Gaal, the Dutch Toad, freaking David Moyes, the Ginger Goblin, and of course, Mr. Benio. So it's not really he's come in and he's tried to save our season. It started well. It's absolutely petered off and been absolutely shite since a long time ago now, as we've been consistently poor. Terrible results. Couple of wins in like 11 games, just atrocious performances. It's been really bad. But at the end of the day, I want him to have the time in the transfer window to, or time next season and have the transfer window to be able to buy some quality players, to move a few of these melt jobs on. I'm talking about Phil No Bones. I'm talking about freaking Chris Smalldong. They've had the time. They're not quality players. They've proven it. They've got new contracts and stuff. Ashley Young, new contract. Just move them the frick on. Somebody should sign them. Kettering Town might come in for an offer for one of them. Altrincham might be on the blower for Chris Smalling. Milton Keynes. But look, they're just not up to the standard. And it's not just them. There's loads of other players for different reasons. Paul Pogba, whatever's happened at Manchester United over this few years that he's been back, it has not been successful. It's not been worked out. There's certain players that come to the club for whatever reason, loads of different reasons. It just doesn't work out for them. They might be a truly top quality player. Diego Forlan, absolutely amazing. Came to United, loved the way he played. He just couldn't put it in the back of the net for us, even though, his play was great. It never really worked. So Sebastian Veron, there's lots of other players for different reasons that come over and it just doesn't work. Maybe he just doesn't fit Manchester United. Maybe he needs to be in a league where gets a little bit more time on the ball. Maybe he's more of one of the physical players in that league rather than coming up against such physical players. Maybe that suits his style of play. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. He could go anywhere and be a top quality player, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to be the fit at Manchester United. And there's lots of other players like that. Matic traditionally is not a Manchester United player. He's a big Frankenstein's monster. How the hell, we don't traditionally have players like that. And then, we've got big Romelu up top there. He's got two left feet, the lad, bless him. He's absolutely useless. He shouldn't be, but in a United shirt, I don't know. And there's lots of players, other players that I could just list all day long, really. You know, Sanchez could probably do with doing one. I know he's done okay today. He's tried hard. But, you know, what have we seen from him in all this time? It's not been great, has it? You know, so there we go. Anyway, I mean, today, fair play to Huddersfield. They really, truly deserved the point. They deserved more from the game. They played well. Certainly for the second half, I thought for large portions of that game, they were far the better team, which just goes to show you a team that's basically playing for nothing other than pride, coming up against a team that's paid a gazillion times more money than they are. Motivated, should be, you know, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Paid some of them £300,000 a week. And Huddersfield got the better of us at times today, really. So it just goes to show you what a shambolic team we are at the moment. We're an absolute embodiment of shite. That is the problem. You know, and I don't say that easily. You know, I obviously love United. I want us to be a successful team again. But at the moment, you know, you're going away to Huddersfield, we're fighting for top four, and we just completely bottle job it. That is what United is at the moment. It's come to that. We turned into that bottle job team. You know, like Arsenal were and Spurs were. The fact is, Arsenal, you know, they've still got a chance. Chelsea battering last time I checked 3-0 today. So they're not bottle jobbing it. It's Manchester United that are bottle jobbing it. You know, and if we don't watch ourselves and we don't sort ourselves out in the transfer window this summer and actually back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and believe in him and get rid of a lot of players and bring a lot in, which is what he said won't happen. But if we don't do that, then we're going to have to put up with this for a while longer, because I don't think we've got the personnel in there to really cement ourselves in, you know, in the top four over the coming years, unless we really do bring some quality players in. It's just fortunate that we are a huge club. We can pay a lot of money, but in a way that's not really what we're looking for right now. We're looking for people that want to be at Manchester United for that reason alone. But obviously it's hard to find these days in this modern world of football. And you know, we just want Manchester United to be a passionate team that goes out there and tries to win and tries to perform and plays hard and fair and goes for it for 90 minutes. Is that so much to bloody ask for? You know, you've got other teams that are doing that today. Huddersfield were doing that today, and they're freaking going down. So, you know, we've got a lot of problems at United. We need to move some players on, move some in. If we don't do that, then we're going to see this happen for a long time, because people like Phil Jones and Chris Smalling and, you know, even Pogba, they're just not up to United standard. We've got a young lad called McTominay who is literally looking like our best player at the moment. He's come out of nowhere. He's a young lad fighting for his spot of being a pro footballer. So that's where we're at the moment. We've got a bunch of shitters at United. We need to move them on. But don't blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just yet. Give him a chance. Look, this time next year, if it's the same, then okay. We tried a club legend who earned his position by an amazing turnaround pretty much overnight. Nobody could predicted that, you know, after the appointment permanently of him, that this atrocious mess would have happened. You might have thought there would have been a tapering off. I definitely didn't think we could keep it going. But I didn't think it would be such a car crash as it has been. But you've got to give Solskjaer a chance. It's not his mess that he's dealing with here. He's come in, he's having to sort it out. I believe the backroom staff are great. The likes of Mike Phelan, you know, Carrick. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a lot to offer this team. But the only way we're going to find out whether he actually deserves the job or is going to be successful at the job, not deserves a job because he deserves a chance, but if he's going to be successful, is to give him time and a whole season to see what he can do. Time and money as well. We need to spend big in the window. You know, it might sound cliche or whatever, but the only way we're actually going to improve is to bring some quality players in. We don't have Champions League football. Other teams are trying to improve, obviously. Bayern Munich's and your Barcelona's and Real Madrid's and everyone else, they're all looking for players. So it's going to be difficult to contend with them, but we are a huge club. We've just got too many shite players in the team. That is how it is. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. United drew with Huddersfield today. I'm going to go through and read all your thoughts and comments now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning into this video. If you are tuning in live, do us a favour, smash a like on this video. Let me know your thoughts and comments on the calamity that is United at the moment. Truly a shower of gash out there, wasn't it? Oh my days, we're playing Huddersfield second half. We're fighting top four. They've got one back and we can't even get at them. It was so embarrassing. Right, let's go through your comments. To everybody tuning in, you're a bunch of legends. Let's see what you guys think about it. It is truly atrocious. I'll go back up to the top here. Give everyone a fair chance here. So, Aaron Thrax, 28, the first commenter on the live stream, commenter says, the fact that we couldn't beat one of the worst sides in Premier League history says a lot. Oh, my days. I know they truly are, you know, one of the worst. probably the second worst in my mind that I can think of. That Derby County team that went down was absolutely just the whipping boys of the decade. But yeah, I mean, Huddersfield, one of the worst teams in the league history. Today, they made Manchester United look like one of the worst teams in the league. So there you go, Huddersfield. That's sort of the level we're at the moment. Huddersfield, awful, one of the worst teams in the league. Nothing to play for. Still, Manchester United cannot beat them. Truly atrocious. Thank you very much for your comment there. Shout outs to Bekon, Jutaru, Bataz, all you guys, Gavin Clark for commenting and getting involved here. iPoddy24 comments, hello Pig, tough times, eh? It is. It's going to get tougher as well unless United do stop the rot, make a change, get rid of some of these jokers, bring some quality in. It's not going to be easy, but allow Ole Gunnar the time and vision to craft this Manchester United team into what he sees it should be, and then we can see what we can do. But until then, I mean, I just think, you know, we have got a squad that's lacking. Even a really poor side with a poor manager, a poor coach, whatever, with the quality of players we got going up against a team like Huddersfield, they should be able to give them a lot of a better game than we gave them today. And that's basically any professional team in the top league, I would say that about. So I think it is it's a shame that it's come to this, but United have just got too many bottle jobs in there. Bjarni Siggy comments, Huddersfield managed to reach up to their 15th point for the season. And it, of course, comes against Man United. Oh, my days. I think I heard that they've only actually, before this game, won 3 points at home since the start of the year. You know, considering we're in May right now, that is absolutely atrocious. But United go there, we give them their 4th point at home since the start of the new year. That's the team that we've become at the moment. And this isn't a team that's fighting for nothing like they basically are. They're just fighting for pride and give the fans something to go down. At the last home game, but United are actually fighting for top 4 for Champions League football next season, and still the players cannot get up to it. The likes of Pogba and Rashford today, I mean, missing sitters, and Jones missed a sitter, and it was just nowhere near good enough. These lads surely are not United quality. Everyone knows that. We've been saying it for years. We never truly replaced Rio and Vidic. Easily the best pairing we've had at Manchester United for a very long time. You know, before that, Brucey and Pallister, absolutely exceptional players. You've got Yap Stam. You know, there's loads of quality centre-backs United have had. We don't have them at the moment, though. We've got a bunch of clowns, man. This is the United circus. Roll up, because you're going to see some messed up shit every time you tune in. When you've got those jokers at the back. Everyone knows it. But that's why teams, you know, they're up for facing us, because they know we've got a lightweight back line. They know they can get at us. They know we might have a good attacking side, but unless we go out in the first half and make use of some of the good play, the good start that we actually had, and score 2 goals early off, or score 3 goals early off against teams we should be banging 5 and against throughout the whole game, then you will see the other team growing confidence. The other team know that maybe they can get at us, because we do have a weak back line. We're looking for that second goal, because the game's not safe until you've got that second goal, this type of football that we're playing. So you have to keep pressing, and of course, that allows the opposition into the game. When you've got a shoddy back line like we have, well, then it leaves a lot to be desired. So there we are. Alex Rincon, how's it going, my friend, with a cheeky little super chat? Shout out to you, mate. Thanks very much for stopping by. Alex Rudd in the house. How's it going, Alex? He comments and says, catch the pig on Thursday nights. You absolute scumbag, Alex. No, fair enough. That's it. You know, Europa League for next season. We're out the top 4. It truly is a calamity. No chance of Champions League football. I mean, it's just the worst season it's been for a very long time. The fact of the matter is we deserve it. We've been truly terrible. The leadership from the top down throughout the whole course of the season has not been good enough. The board, the owners, you know, it's all been too much for us. It's getting worse as well. United need to stop the rot. We don't want to become that Liverpool side. You have to remember Liverpool back up there now challenging. But there's been a space about 30 years where they've really struggled. And do you know what? Before that barren spell, they were the most successful team in England for a long time. So anything can happen in football. You do not want to become that big team that just falls by the wayside. And we probably will be a big team again one day, but we want that day to come a lot sooner than Liverpool's day has come, because it's taken them 30 years and they still might not freaking win the league. But, you know, they've got a good chance, and they're still obviously got past in the Champions League, but they're on the ascendancy, aren't they? And United are not on the ascendancy, and we don't want to become that club that just slips down and down over the years. That would be absolutely terrible. So there we have it. Kyle Fury, how's it going, Kyle? He comments, what next for Ollie now? Ollie needs time. He needs money in the transfer window. He needs to sign some players that he actually wants at the club. More importantly, perhaps, move some players on. There's talks of Real Madrid interested in Paul Pogba. I say that's a great move for everybody involved. He'll go to the biggest club in the world, one of the biggest clubs in the world. He'll work with Zidane. He'll probably be a much better player there in a league that's probably more suited to him. Less quality opposition throughout consistently throughout the league. Obviously, the Premier League's a bit more physical, it's a bit faster. It's a bit more evenly distributed throughout the league. Over there, there's 6-7 good teams. The rest of them not quite up to it, in my opinion, anyway. So I think he'll do well over there. Obviously, he'll always have a shot in Europe, and he'll probably be a much better player over there. But United, I think, could do with cashing in. We could do with releasing the wages that he's on every single week. We could do with releasing just that issue that we've got at the club, because he is one of them. We've got certain players that just don't quite live up to it, don't represent United to the way that they should be. He's shown consistently over the time that he is a great player. He can do it on his day, and he does do it sporadically, but nowhere near good enough, nowhere near to the level of consistency that Manchester United requires. So for whatever reason, it's not worked out for him at the club. Move him on, ship him on, cash in. I'd even take an offer for Lukaku if Everton want to come back and have, another 20 goal a year goal scorer, which is what he probably would be over there. Another player for some reason just doesn't fit at Manchester United. But there you go. Ole Gunnar needs time to answer your question. He needs time to move players on, bring players in, and who knows what he's going to do. Maybe he loves Pogba and Lukaku and he really wants to keep them. But you've got to believe in him. You've got to give him the faith. You've got to give him enough rope to hang himself with, is what the old expression. Do you know what I mean? You can't just write him off before he's gone. Nick Suberling, how's it going, Nick? He comments and says, hired Ollie too soon, should have waited. Well, I personally at the time really wanted us to appoint him, because it just meant that this permanent, this new ethos. He is the man. Let's all go in the same direction that we've been going in. We everything seemed harmonious at the club. We were winning on the pitch. Players seemed happy. Let's have some more of this. Why even get a new manager in? Why not just appoint him? It did. I wanted that to happen at the time, but in hindsight, you're absolutely right. There was no need to. There was no need to. Not because he doesn't deserve the job, because I don't think this is his fault necessarily. I just think, it's the players, but because if we didn't hire him so soon, then maybe the players would have, for some reason, it just seemed to be like when we appointed him, from that moment on, the players' heads went, they just didn't perform to the level that they should, and we just dropped off, and we have been dropping off ever since. So I think from that point of view, we just upset the harmony that was at the club. We upset everything that was good at the club, the turnaround. I don't know, just what the mentality at the club was at that time. They seemed to be playing with freedom out there. The players weren't playing with pressure on them. They were just out there having fun. Now Ollie's the permanent manager. Oh no, now he is going to be here next season, definitely. So we all have to really perform and fight and get in with the manager and all that sort of stuff. So maybe there's an added pressure that comes to it. So I do think you're right, man. Maybe in hindsight, it's easy to say that with the run of poor form that we've been on, but in hindsight, maybe that was the issue. Thank you very much, Nick. Good to see you, pal. Gandalf comments, give Sanchez a go. Well, look, I was impressed with his tenacity today. But at the end of the day, I just don't see too much from him. He's not really producing that great form that he has done for Arsenal ever really at Manchester United. He's had plenty of opportunities now. I know he's not really had a truly great run in the side, but he hasn't really deserved one. Everybody who's tuning in right now, thanks so much for stopping by on the channel. Do us a favour, smash a like on it, get your thoughts and opinions in. I'm going to stick around for another 5 minutes or so, read some more of your comments out here. Super chat from Barnes, thanks very much for stopping by. No message, but shout out to you, Barnes. Thanks for getting involved here. Maximilian7 comments, hey Pig, do you think Ollie is trying to be too clever with his tactics? He should just keep it simple and give players full freedom to express themselves, which is what we were doing when he took over. I know, it's so crazy. Like, he got appointed manager, and then suddenly there was an overnight change in the way we played our football. That freedom, that attacking, that directness, that quality just seemed to go overnight. And I really don't understand that. I mean, surely he's not just gone, right, lads, now I'm the permanent manager. You cannot no longer express yourselves out there. No, sorry, you did have this free role, Pogba, now you don't. Now you're shackled in this Jose Mourinho tactic that I've just decided we're going to play. I don't know what's happened, so I agree with you. It's very strange that has happened. Maybe I don't think he's being too clever. I think that he's trying to get the best out of these players. Maybe there is just that little bit of bitterness has crept in again. You're hearing reports of sometimes falling outs between Solskjaer and Pogba and things like that, which I think is just silly. But you're hearing about that. You had the same thing with the previous manager. maybe there's just certain things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has asked of the players, or that he's changed since now he knows that he's the permanent manager, because he's already planning for next season. He's implementing changes that some of the players are just not quite happy or 100% comfortable with doing out there on the pitch. I don't really know. It's very hard to say. But either way, that's exactly what we should be doing, is just giving them freedom to go out there and express themselves, really go for it, attack, obviously allow the back line to defend, and, really just go out there and play some good football. But unfortunately, I just don't think we've got the leaders and the players and the characters and the fighters out there in order to do it. Thank you very much for your comment, pal. Lots of comments coming in here. A lot I can see about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not being up to the job. Some people saying, give Ole a chance. But Alan Cold, how's it going, Alan? He comments and says, Pogba can only do so much, can't carry the whole shit team. Well, it's true. It's not just Pogba. We do have a shit team. We do have Rashford not firing. We do have Sanchez not firing. We do have players like Static, Matic, Twatic in there. We have got No Bones Jones and Chris Smalldong and Luke Unshaw. We've got all those guys. It's very difficult because obviously they're just not quite up to the level, a lot of these guys. And but Pogba is supposed to be one of the leaders in there. He's supposed to be one of the match winners in there. He's supposed to be the sort of player that controls a game, that grabs a game, and that turns a game. But unfortunately, he's just not being that player for us today. Like I say, we were 1-1 today, fighting for top 4. He could really try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck and go for it. But I didn't see enough from him. I just didn't see enough tenacity from him. And he's supposed to be this true quality player. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think, he's not the only shit player, but Pogba's definitely not very good for us, man. Comment here from Gungshi. How's it going, Gungers? He comments, we're worse than Arsenal. Oh, well, that's pretty difficult, isn't it? But it's true. At the moment, they still got a chance. Top 4. We are actually worse than Arsenal this season. Over the course of the season, we're worse than Arsenal. And when you think of Arsenal's situation last year, the transition they've had from Wenger, and it's obviously a difficult time for them. It was a transitional season for them, and to be still in a hunt for the top 4 and still finish above Manchester United, it just goes to show you that we are truly a shocking outfit at the moment, and we are worse than Arsenal, like you say, Gungshi. Thank you very much for getting involved. Good to see you, pal. Man United Van Cam in the house. Kevin Ashford, good to see you, pal. Hope you're doing good. I'm sure you've got some strong views on this Manchester United calamity at the moment. He comments, embarrassing that. It truly was embarrassing. Another list of embarrassments that you can add to this season, just a truly awful performance from United. When you bear in mind the opposition, and when you bear in mind the magnitude of the fixture and what it actually means for our season, still to be in with a chance of qualification for the Champions League, and to throw it away like we did today, it's absolutely embarrassing to not have more bottle, more quality, more skill, and really truly go for it, and be able to get past a team like Huddersfield, who are already down and have nothing to play for apart from pride. It just goes to show you that we are just a team full of melt jobs. Simple as that. Complete team of bottlers. Thank you very much, Kevin, for getting involved here, pal. UK TV says Ollie out. I mean, it's too soon, isn't it? I know that's a popular opinion right now. People think he's got the job too soon. What has he done in management? Come on, man. Give him a chance. He's not had the time. He's not had the money. He's not had a transfer window. He's dealing with other managers' signings. He's dealing with other characters and other personalities that are in there that maybe he doesn't want. He's got to get rid of a couple. I know he said he's not going to make big changes. Well, we will see in the transfer window what happens, And if he signs one player, let's just say he does this, he goes out there, he brings Maro and Fellaini back to the club, and then we keep hold of every player we've got at the moment. I will not be happy. Don't get me wrong. But until that happens, I truly think he's got an ace up his sleeves. We're going to do something in the transfer window. The board need to back him. The fans need to back him. That's what I think anyway. Super chat from Gungshi. Thank you for commenting again here, Gungshi, with a super chat. He comments, we need major surgery in the summer. We need to get rid of at least half this squad. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players out there today, just not the United quality, are they? Matic truly is a United player, Sanchez, been absolutely bang average, probably go somewhere else and be amazing, who knows, but just getting his money at the moment. He did try pretty hard today, but just not up to it, not doing the business for us. You've got players like Lukaku and Martial, I'm sorry, just not quite up to it. Martial, I think, could be as good as anyone. I'm not saying we should get rid of him, really, but he needs to seriously sort himself out, man. And then you've got people like, Herrera might be leaving. There's Valencia's leaving. Obviously, Ashley Young surely doesn't deserve to be a United player, even though, of course, he is sticking around next season by being offered a new contract. And is David De Gea staying this summer? If somebody comes in for a bid with him, 120 million, he wants to leave. Who knows? Maybe he goes. Pogba could be going. Lukaku could be going. There's lots of players that could be going. We do need major surgery in this summer, and these are actually our big players. It's crazy to say that. Usually you need to add some other players into your big players. But at the moment, it's our big players that are causing all the freaking problems. Thank you very much, Gungshi. Nice to see you again. I agree. Get rid of half the squad. Absolutely. We need a big surgery at Manchester United. Make the decisions, lads. Freaking potato head up there. What are you doing? Honestly. It's frustrating. Everybody who's tuning in, thanks so much for stopping by on this live stream. You're a bunch of legends. Appreciate you getting involved and airing your opinions on here. Love interacting with you people. See what you think about it. It's always interesting when you know, people disagree with me or agree with me. That's football. It's opinions. A lot of people don't want Ollie. A lot of people really want Pogba, you know, and disagree with me quite a lot on a lot of things. But that is football. That's what makes this channel so interesting. Do you know what I mean? Because this is just one bloke's opinion here. Some of you will agree. Some of you will disagree. That's football. You've got your own opinions. I'd like to hear yours. That's basically it. Susan, how's it going? Susan, nice to see you. Comments says, nice to see you live. Thank you very much for getting involved in the live stream. Good to see you in here. James Arnold, super chats here. Give Ollie 2 seasons, then judge him. Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of attitude we should be having. Look at Sir Alex Ferguson's reign when he was coming in after a torrid time. He had time, 5 years really, before we had any success at Manchester United. A lot of patience, and there were certain times, you know, that FA Cup final, we could have easily, if it had not won that, he could have been gone, and that whole amazing history that United have had since could have just been wiped out right there, and we could have still been that struggling big club. So, yeah, I agree with you. We do need to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time. 2 seasons, I mean, it's dependent. In this day and age, football has changed. It is difficult to say, you know, give him a 2-season contract and stick to it. If we're 15th at Christmas, you can't really, you know, and dependent on what we've done, there's too much at stake in modern day football to allow somebody a time to, you know, completely cock up. But I do agree that we need to give him time. We need to back him. We need to give him money, then judge him. Thank you very much for getting involved here on the channel, James Arnold. Right, guys, I've got to wrap it up today. We just approached 32 minutes on the live stream, but I want to say to everybody tuning in, thanks for stopping by. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel for upcoming United videos. It's just a complete mess at United at the moment. I believe in Ollie, but I don't believe in the players. I believe we've got a bunch of loser prima donnas in there, most of which don't deserve to be pulling on the shirt and playing for United and representing us. They should be sold in the summer. Lots of the big prima donna type players that we've got at the club, and also some of the other shit players who may have been good servants to the club, but really their level is Sunderland. They should be playing for Sunderland. You know, sell Jones to Sunderland, sell Jones and Smalling to Sunderland. That's a good idea, like we did with John O'Shea and Wes Brown. But they were actually, like I say, they were actually good players for us, good squad players for us. But they, more importantly, that's probably what I would say is the biggest difference about the defences of old, is that we had defence with like Vidic and Ferdinand, Stam and guys like that, but then we had Wes Brown and we had John O'Shea and we had this rotation. We had good squad players. That's all Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, those type of guys, ever should have been. They shouldn't be your Rio. They shouldn't be your Vidic. Shocking stuff from United. Shocking movement from the board. Shocking recruitment over the years. Shocking tactics over the years. And just a shocking mentality at the club. That's what's happened. We have lost that winning mentality. We've lost that fighter's mentality. We've lost that bottle. We've lost that ability to fight ourselves back into a game and really get into it. Fergie time, 8 minutes of stoppage time we had. Fergie's team would have banged in a couple back in the day in this instance. You know, top 4, battling for top 4. But no, we've got a bunch of useless prima donnas who are just not up to the standard of Manchester United. Move on, all of you pricks. Anyway, hopefully that happens in the summer. I'm going to leave you there, but I do want to say to you all, thanks for stopping by on the channel. I'll see you soon. You can follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. United, we need big changes in the summer. We are an absolute pile of wank at the moment. We've got serious problems. We need to address them, move these clowns on, get some true quality signings in the window, let Ollie have time, let the coaching staff have time, let's judge them at the end of next season. But surely it cannot be any worse than this steaming pile of horse manure of a season that has been. Surely There cannot be anything worse than this season we've just witnessed now. I bloody hope not. Anyway, this is the pig. Thanks so much for stopping by on the live stream. Sort your freaking lives out, United. You're an absolute joke. The board, hang your heads in shame. Seriously, recruit well in the summer. Let's spend some money, but let's spend it wisely. Let's get characters in there. Let's get leaders in there. Let's lose some of these melters who are just prepared to bottle it at any moment. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one.